Tracking November 2021 election results now, Colorado voters broke with tradition to reject a property tax cut. Denver dealt losses to the mayor and powerful developers, and Republicans retake one of the most contested school boards in the state. Our team coverage begins with Jordan Chavez live in the newsroom. And Jordan, voters are rejecting 3 state ballot issues.
Yeah, hey, good morning, Corey, to you. You know, when it comes to these 3 statewide questions, this was one big no from Coloradans. For 2 of these issues, actually, like you mentioned, that really breaks with the usual voting patterns that we see here in our state. Let's go ahead and start with Amendment 78. Now, this specific initiative focused on filtering all money, including those emergency federal funds, through the state legislature. It's also zoned in on the current and future governor's spending authority. Now, at last check from the Secretary of State's office, this one failed with more than 56% of voters opposing it. Then we have Proposition 119. Now, for this one, Coloradans turned down a chance to raise taxes on marijuana. Those increased taxes would have been used to fund out of school, or what's most commonly referred to as after school learning opportunities. So think things like tutoring. But this one also failed with more than 54% of voters going against it again at last check. Finally, we do have Proposition 120, which was a vote to lower property taxes. Now, this one only needed a simple majority to pass, but it also had more than 56%, coming up on 57% now, actually, of votes against that. Of course, we're trying to see if these numbers fluctuate at all. But Corey, you know how the story goes here in Colorado. These seem to be pretty much set.
Yeah, I know votes still trickling in. We appreciate you going through all of that for us, Jordan. Denver's Republican Party is facing major losses. All 3 party-backed initiatives failed, according to the unofficial results from the Secretary of State's office. Initiative 303 would have required the city to enforce its urban camping ban more aggressively, and 304 would have lowered the cap on the city's sales tax rate. And Initiative 2F would have overturned the city council's decision to allow up to 5 unrelated adults to live together in a single home. The council passed the new zoning code in February, expanded it citywide unanimously in April. It's the latest results from overnight. Nearly 70% of voters voted against 2F. Voters in Boulder also weighed in on how many people can live together. The limit right now is 3 to 4 people in most areas. A yes on ballot question 300 would let the number of people in a home equal the number of bedrooms plus 1 extra person. At last update, the no's have it nearly 58%.
Denver voters also delivered rejections to Mayor Michael Hancock and powerful developers. The mayor's proposal to build a new mid-sized arena at the National Western Complex lost, and at last check, no votes were leading.
And Denver voters are protecting the open space of Park Hill Golf Course from development, for now anyway. They voted against the development project that was set there by a pretty wide margin.
And a number of school board seats across the state were up for grabs on Tuesday. We continue team coverage with 9 News reporter John Glasgow this morning. John, Republicans in Colorado and nationwide hoped that these school board races would be a path back to power, but that's only the case for one area district.
Yeah, right. That's likely not going to happen here in the Denver Public School District. There are 4 of 7 seats up for grabs, and the union only needs 1 seat, 1 win in order to keep control over reform candidates. And as of this morning, it appears that that is going to happen, as the superintendent and current board president, or my apologies, the board president and incumbent Dr. Carrie Olson will retain her seat in District 3. So as of this morning, all union endorsed candidates are leading in the polls, which would keep Denver Public School District firmly union aligned. Now, it's a different story, though, in Douglas County, where it's already a Republican controlled county. In Dougco, it's a 7-person board with 4 open seats. So far, all 4 conservative candidates are on one slate together, and they are winning. A win, and the Conservatives would take back control of the Douglas County School Board for the first time since 2017. It means a change in school board ideology after a year of protest over mask mandates. The question now, will there still be a school board meeting over fights over public health measures if the board is conservative controlled? Now, there's also the question of over leadership as well. They did hire a new superintendent, Corey Wise. Now, under Wise's leadership, they've been following the public health mandates from the state and national levels. So the question right now is, will they continue to do that? If this has changed, Natasha, we do look at this as a nonpartisan school board election, but it turned very partisan last night.
Yeah, it sure did. John, thank you for going through that. In Jeffco schools, 3 seats were up for grab on Tuesday, and we're not seeing a shift there. So far, union-backed, liberal-leaning school board candidates are on track to keep control of the Jeffco school board. That's the Jeffco Kids slate. Conservatives last controlled the Jeffco school board back in 2015.
And a reminder, these are all unofficial results. They won't be formalized until the completion of the post-election canvass. That'll happen on November 19th. According to the Secretary of State's website, 62 of our 64 counties are reporting their results this morning. As for turnout, it was even less than usual for an off-year election. A little less than 32% of Colorado's active voters turned in a ballot. 99% of voters as of noon on election day turned in mail-in ballots, though. Coloradans love mail-in ballots, either by mail or dropping it off in a drop box. Unaffiliated voters, which make up the biggest number of registered voters in the state, turned in the most ballots. That was followed by Republicans and Democrats, about 10,000 voters behind that. To see all the results, you can text the word election to the number on your screen, 303-871-1491. We will send you a link to our election results.